everyone. Welcome back to QSR Nation, your weekly source of food service marketing and business strategies for success. Here are your hosts, Josh, Beth, Tony, and Grant from the PFS Brands National Headquarters in Holt Summit, Missouri.
Hey everybody, welcome back to QSR Nation. As always, we have Josh, Beth, Grant, and Tony here from the PFS Brands National Headquarters in Holt Summit, Missouri to talk about food service marketing and business strategy for success.
You're talking really fast. It's probably because it's an igloo in here.
I say that. Yeah, it is really cold in here today.
It feels wonderful.
Today,
It's your natural habitat.
That's right. Cold.
Today we're going to discuss something that is very relevant right now, fantasy football drafting.
Yeah.
What's going on currently, right?
Yeah.
Or it will happen.
Well, it's the kickoff, you could say.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Yeah, well, that's relevant to food service because what about fantasy football draft catering to those draft parties?
Well, yeah, I mean, I have a group that I'm with up in Columbia that we actually rent out the back room of a restaurant, and we're there from I believe Tim said we have to be there by 10:43. He's very exact. It's because it starts at 11 o'clock on the dot,
yeah.
and we run until about 5
AM
o'clock.
or PM?
At AM.
Okay.
Okay, good Lord.
Yeah, so we ran the whole back area, and I mean it's a lot of fun. You know, we do it once a year, but there's a lot of food and maybe some adult beverages involved.
Oh yeah.
So it's a lot of fun, but it's a great time of year for the food service industry because whether you're renting out a room or whether you're catering something to someone or they're coming in picking up kind of a party tray or whatever. I mean, this is the time where the real stuff happens. I mean, I know there's politics and I know there's jobs and family, but this is fantasy football, folks. This is the stuff that takes priority.
Yeah, and it's definitely big business. I know Grant was pulling up some stats before we started.
Yeah. So fantasy football has been growing exponentially over the years, and now it's up to 40 million people play fantasy football in the U.S. alone, I think.
That is crazy.
It's crazy. I mean,
there's 300 million of us, and 40 million are playing fantasy football.
Good percentage, but
Yeah,
no,
it is.
A lot of times it's sometimes it's the only time all those people get together. I know I have a group of 10 guys, and we get a fantasy football league, and it's the only time we're all together, throughout the year. So it's a reason to have a big, party celebration, and we always have a good meal, and the winner from the previous year has to provide the meal. So sometimes it's just, they just need an option to provide the meal. Sometimes guys are lazy or whatever, and they just need a good option, something that's easy, quick. So in ways that you can promote this, through Facebook easily, you can start that tomorrow. And then, or if you have flyers, just, or just little bounce back cards or something, just hand them out to your customers. Just let them know that that's an option for catering. So
I think that's a good point too. When you say a lot of these predominantly is men, there are women that play as well. Obviously, inclusion.
I do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But you still just want something simple, quick, and easy. You don't want to put too much effort into it. You just want to show up with some great food.
Exactly. And whenever you want good quality food, you want to make sure that you're finding all these different places. You're going to be able to cater to a wide variety of people's needs. And so definitely take this opportunity, just like Grant said, to be able to advertise, especially on Facebook. This is a great time to start doing some different digital efforts if you want to do some retargeting, and you can do some catering in my area, different types of ads, just so that way you can try and grab those people that are already online and understand kind of the whole online ways. So definitely look into those options.
it really can be low-hanging fruit, because I know when I've provided the meal, I have money set aside that I'm going to spend no matter what for the meal. So that money's getting spent. You just have to let me know where to go.
So were you
Grant
basically
has
saying
money.
you've won before?
Yeah.
You've won the league before, so you had to.
I might have won a time or two.
Oh.
Hey, Grant,
Yeah.
can we borrow some money?
Yeah, some of your winnings, because he was bragging to me last night that, apparently he wins a lot, but not in life, because he just spilled his drink. I think that's just an awesome thing that you guys do. I told him I'd always want to come in second in that league, win my money back, and let Grant still pay for the dinner. That's awesome.
That's a good spot to be. Yeah.
My method is don't get last, and then I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know here in our office we have a toilet bowl trophy for whoever finishes last.
Yeah.
In the league I'm in Columbia, that we have it's a big trophy, and the winner engraves the name of the person who wins like the next year. So if I would ever win, which I always finish third, but if I ever would win, I would, whoever won the year before would put my name on the trophy, and bring it to me at the next draft. So there's all those fun things. And you mentioned predominantly men, and it is, but in our league, we have this one lady, Darcy, who her name.
They're going to talk about me.
No,
I'm not Darcy.
No, you're not Darcy. You're Beth. But her name is on that trophy multiple times, and that's another reason why I hate the Patriots.
I have
She
another
always picks
stat.
Tom Brady.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
let's
tangent here. I did have
let's
another
loop back
stat
to
about
Grant here.
demographics here. So the female population is growing. It's now at 80-20 split right
there
now.
you go.
So
Yeah.
the ladies
Everybody's
are
welcome.
getting involved too. So.
For sure. And you can also Grant brought this up before. He's bringing up a lot of great points.
Wow.
This fantasy football is right up his alley. But he was also saying you could start one at your work as well. Maybe your deli workers, some of y'all get together, really increases camaraderie amongst the staff.
For sure, yeah. On the flip side of all this, it could be a great way to develop that cohesiveness with your team. It gives people excitement throughout the week. When they come to work and stuff. So that's definitely an option too. I know, like Beth said, here at work, we have our own league, and it's from people across all departments. So you get to talk to people that you don't.
You get to talk trash to people.
Yeah. More so than usual.
The most fun part. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a way to build relationships and get your team members excited about maybe coming into work because they have something to talk about or talk bad about.
Exactly.
For sure.
So,
Well, we do fantasy football, fantasy baseball, March Madness. I mean, not everybody's into sports, but you don't have to because these things, they can be geared just like you said for camaraderie, for fun.
Mainly trash talking.
But it is something that is a great way to build a team and have those that togetherness time, and it makes a lot of fun. So and then you throw in some food, man. Come on,
Yeah,
that's a
absolutely.
winning
For
combination.
sure, and we can help everybody if they need help with catering menus and things like that, correct?
Oh, exactly. And then if they also wanted to do a different social media type campaign, we can even help them come up with a hashtag. So that way, if they are a grocery or a deli or anything like that, and they wanted to be able to feature their customers that use their catering needs, they can do pictures and they can post them on Instagram or Facebook. That way, they can just use those to promote them all throughout the store and all throughout the season about their catering.
I'm so hungry right now for some reason. I don't know why. If you guys were to draft pick your favorite Champs dipping sauce, what would your number one pick be?
I know mine.
I feel like this is unanimous. Maybe not.
Go
On the count of three.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Sassy
Sassy
Cocktail.
Chipotle.
I didn't want to say that because I say it really weird.
I knew you were going to say I went different.
I was
Actually,
gonna
my
say tartar sauce.
My favorite sauce of ours is the cocktail sauce, the Champs cocktail sauce.
That is pretty
That
good.
is a pretty amazing thing. I introduced Grant to that the other day. He thought I was crazy. He tried it.
It was very good. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just not
I
a
was
fan
impressed.
of any cocktail sauce.
No, this is very different. I mean,
It is
got
different.
I don't know,
Spice
dude.
to
I
it.
could dip fries in it. I could dip the potato wedges in it. I could dip tenders in it. If I do,
I just-
it's become my favorite dipping sauce.
Really? I'm gonna have to try that. It's probably because I'm allergic to shrimp, and then shrimp and
Oh,
cocktail
yeah.
sauce.
And
So.
you can't have that happen again.
Yeah, but
That was a really bad.
that's for another podcast.
So let's circle back now. Do you guys have any other tips or tricks when it comes to starting a catering program for these fantasy draft weeks coming up?
Know what you can handle. Don't over promise and under deliver. Make sure that you know that if you can only cater up to 20 people, know that that's your max, and don't try and fulfill those party needs for more people than that.
And also, I mean, like Grant said earlier, this can really be low-hanging fruit in the sense that, you don't have to do a whole lot for this other than bring awareness to the fact, whether it's the Facebook posts or, handing out just a small flyer, like he said. I mean, you don't have to do a whole lot other than just come in and pick up, what they're wanting, whether it's getting, 60, like the bonus chicken dippers that we have, or if you're going to somewhere else and maybe you love their curly fry and you're getting, we're going to order 5 pounds of those or whatever. Like I think Five Guys could hook you up with that because they're like the kings of the dumping fries in there. But I mean, there's whatever there is. You don't have to.
I don't know.
Have you ever not eaten at Five Guys?
No, I have.
They give you like 30 pounds of French fries
You
and
just
a
go off
hamburger.
on the weirdest tangents.
But my point is you don't even have to do the catering. You just got to bring awareness and actually get that
We
word
need
out
to
there.
circle back.
Yeah, those bulk orders like that could be huge for your revenue for sure.
And then one other point I was going to make on the other side of this catering, the actual from the business side, if you do want to start a fantasy league with your employees, there's a good book that I've read called Fantasy Life.
Yeah?
This is a fun read, not a business book.
Oh, okay.
But Fantasy Life is the name of the book. It's by Matthew Berry. He's an ESPN guy,
There you go,
analyst. So it's actually a very fun read, but it's not just about the fantasy side of it. He talks about how it provides value to people's lives, and I'm not kidding.
No.
There are
I know it's just hard for me to keep a straight face.
There are tearjerker stories in there. So if you need a reason
the
to
one
start,
time I drafted Le'Veon Bell,
He's out all season. No, I just love however we talk about business books and marketing books. Grant has nothing to say. When it comes to fantasy football, he's like, I have a whole reading list for you guys.
I've got a library from Matthew Berry.
hey, you need enjoyable reads too.
That is true.
That's
That's
true.
Great point. Well, I think we've had a lot of great information here, and I like the best point: don't overpromise and underdeliver, which is what we regularly do here on QSR Nation.
We need a new T-shirt.
Yeah. If you guys want any more catering tips or advice, we can hook you up with some menus and things like that. Reach out to us at qsrnation@pfsbrands.com. Subscribe to the podcast at pfsbrands.com/podcast.
You can find us on Facebook and on Twitter at QSR Nation.
I knew that was coming. I was ready for it.
Thanks.
And I guess
Shoot us your fantasy sleepers this year.
that's a good call. Yeah, we need help drafting as well.
Beth
so.
does.
That's right. Grant's in trouble because his draft is right around the corner in a couple days, but
Yeah.
I've got 2 weeks left. So please, if you see anyone on there you think I ought to be picking, let me know.
I'll let
And
you
no
know.
punters or kickers.
Okay.
Well, yep, we digress. So for everybody here at QSR Nation, we'll talk to you next week.
Today's episode is brought to you by Champs Chicken. For deals, discounts, and updates, check out champschicken.com/connect. Be sure to stop by next week for another episode of QSR Nation. And be sure to check us out online at pfsbrands.com/podcast.